Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we go over all of the exciting news and top stories shit on our website from the past 7 days. I do apologize, as last week we had an interview episode planned for the middle of the week, but we didn't have enough time in the day to get it done and out, but we do have plans to keep that going with, of course, several guests and contacts that we could rope in to build some entertainment. But for this episode is another roundup where we go over the top stories as mentioned. And to kick it off, we have news from one of the most exciting brands of the year, which is something I've said what seems like a million times on the podcast, and that is Glaxon. Glaxon has probably been not just one of the most exciting brands, but I guess without a doubt the most exciting new brand. We've seen a few jump onto the scene. Beam is one of them. There are a few others, but Glaxon has just come on like a storm. They've got everything, just all the wheels turning, everything's to be playing off. And so this past week they announced a new flavor for their superfood supplement, Super Greens, which, as I think we mentioned in our review, it is hands down the best tasting greens out there. Obviously, there are conditions that come with that, as I explained in previous episodes. Obviously, conditions such as, if you want these types of ingredients and these types of dosages, it's not really going to compare to some other products that have got a more complete, comprehensive formula. But in terms of, every competitor in the category, it is the best tasting green product out there. It's right up there for me with Core Greens, that's an incredibly great tasting product. Although again, the formula is different on that one. It's a little heftier, but so they announced a new flavor for Super Greens this past week with Burst Berry Iced Tea. Now, I was already a big fan of their Orchard one, mostly because they could just not only do they mask that base earthy greens gritty taste, but they put just a layer of sweetness over top that just made it so much better. I think I've mentioned it before on this podcast with reviews, but I am a huge fan of raspberry strawberry type taste, and so Glaxon throwing my favorite type of fruit on top of their green supplement is almost going to be just a home run for me. I liked, as I mentioned, Core Greens, the berry flavor. I like that one over the chocolate. I'm hyped for this one. I believe it's coming, or due to drop within the coming weeks, and it'll be 3 flavors for that product. But you'll be able to buy it from their site, as per usual, as well as their growing number of retail partners. From Glaxon, we're going to kick off what was likely to be like a sort of a string of. I think we're touching on two gaming products or 2 gaming brands that came out last week, and it's almost been like a string. G Fuel had been announcing plenty of exciting stories early in the month, and then Ghost came on with Ghost Gamer, which was a long time coming, and we knew it was on the way. And then we got XP Sports, which is the new gaming brand from Iovate, the company behind Muscletech and Six Star and Hydroxycut. So this past week, G Fuel announced what I would have to say is probably one of the best looking flavors they've put together, best looking collaborations flavors that they've put together. And this time around, they've teamed up with Sega, the giant video game developer, for a special edition Sonic the Hedgehog flavor of both their original G Fuel powder as well as their G Fuel energy drink. Now, the flavor itself is peach rings, and to be honest, it's just the packaging. The packaging just blows it away. You can go to our site and check it out and just type in Sonic. They've obviously thrown the iconic character Sonic the Hedgehog on the packaging itself, but it just looks damn good. Everything pops on it, the graphics, the colors, and it all just comes together. And I do actually like the G Fuel energy drink itself, as well as the powder formula and how those ones taste. So I imagine this is going to be another great tasting effort. But just to see that iconic Sega collaboration come together. It's just, they hit it on all areas. And to be honest, G Fuel has been doing that since early last year. I actually was discussing this with someone of all the people who are doing or done collaborations on the supplement side of things. G Fuel is, I believe, Man Sports might have been one of the first to do like an athlete collab. That's the oldest one I remember. It's probably not, they might not be the first, but it's the oldest one I remember when they did their Tropic Thunder with Furious Pete. But and then you obviously had Ghost come along and do one of the first, I guess, inter-industry type collabs with Chips Ahoy, Nutter Butter more recently, Warheads. I mean, the list goes on. They've done extremely well. But G Fuel, as far as I'm aware, is probably the first company on the supplement side of things to do a collaboration with a non-flavor related company, and they've done it a mountain of times. Sonic the Hedgehog, the Sonic the Hedgehog flavor, G Fuel has been one of them. They did it with Doom. They did it with Code Vein. They even did it with Twitch. So these are companies they're pairing up with and creating a collaboration product, but they don't have flavors associated with them. When you team up with athletes, the athlete kind of comes together and bring their personality to the flavor. But with these inter-company collabs that G Fuel has done, they're putting a taste to that, like Sonic. If you had to kind of think what it was going to taste like, I guess peach rings is kind of fitting. So I think it's really cool to see G Fuel do what they've done with these unique collabs, and they're just, again, bringing tastes and flavors to things that you wouldn't necessarily associate with that. It's a different kind of collab. It's an interesting kind of collab, and they've just done incredibly well with it. And Sonic the Hedgehog being their latest one, and this is coming, I believe it is next month. Following, actually, they've got their Moon Pie collab. Talking about unique collabs, they have their Moon Pie collab coming. I believe it's out soon. Actually, no, I think it dropped last week. I'll have to check up on that one. But so they're on a roll right now. But as mentioned, we have a lot more news than just G Fuel. For the gaming side of things, we also shared details on all of XP Sports supplements that are due to hit the market sometime this summer. As I explained, XP Sports is, of course, the gaming supplement company from Iovate, the parent company of Muscletech and Hydroxycut and Six Star. So we I think we talked about the brand in a previous episode, and I'm not sure if we did or not, but so XP Sports, again, is a new gaming company, but instead of sticking to just the one product, they've actually put together quite a comprehensive set. There are 3 items in this lineup. There's one called Boost, Zero Lag, and Gummies, each of which comes with, I think it's Flora Glow, an ingredient to sort of help boost vision and eye health, and that's an ingredient that you'll find in all 3 of the products, and it's at the same dose, regardless of whether you're looking at the gummies, the powder, and the capsules. But we revealed their formulas over the past week and went into detail about what they're all about and what separates each of them, which is important because, as mentioned, it's a comprehensive gaming brand, and they've taken a different approach. Instead of just doing the one product, they've done 3, each of which is a different format. So I'll start with Boost and Zero Lag, purely because those 2 are quite similar. Now they both promise long-lasting energy, alertness, focus. Basically what you'd want to have and take before getting into gaming, elevate your gaming, take it to the next level type thing. However, Zero Lag comes in capsules and Boost comes in powder form, and they do have slightly different sets of ingredients. They do share some similarities. Both are caffeinated, but again, there are small differences and tweaks, and that I guess will kind of provide a different experience, but they have the same goals in mind with their energy, alertness, focus, all those traditional benefits you want for gaming. But as for gummies, that one is actually more of just a focus product that has no caffeine, so it's sort of a mental focus, eye, vision health type product that I suppose you could take with the other ones. I mean, I didn't see it written that you could have them together. Obviously, the Zero Lag and the Boost both have caffeine, so I'm not too sure if they're going to pair up. But yeah, it's an interesting mix. You can check out all the details and labels on the site. We rattle off what's in each of them. and we put their facts panels up there. But it's definitely worth a look. It's a great looking brand, and it'd be interesting to see how they go, purely because it's a dedicated brand. It's not Muscletech entering gaming. It's a brand from the parent company of Muscletech just taking on the market. So it's pretty interesting to see, and of course we'll have updates on that as guys moving forward. From the gaming category, we're going to jump to the energy drink market. Now this was it was damn exciting news this past week. So in past episode we talked about how Ghost is getting into beverage. They partner with the lengthily named ABI for a sub-brand or brand that from both sides that's going to create a Ghost branded line of drinks. They didn't really go into detail what they were going to do, but I did mention they said that they were going to stay true to the category, which we felt meant that they were going to be doing traditional beverages. Obviously, if they're staying true to something, there has to be an established category. So things like energy drink, a protein shake, or even an amino beverage were our guesses. And this past week they confirmed that an energy drink from Ghost is indeed what they're going to be kicking off with later this summer. And they revealed the formula. Most impressively, it is not, I thought when they said stay true to the category, we were going to get a blend with taurine and caffeine, but that's not really what we got. Ghost unveiled the formula behind their first drink, which will be an energy drink, and it's really kind of nootropic focus based. It's a real focus heavy drink, kind of like what Bang and VPX just did with their new fusion, both versions, the red line and the regular, or even Cellucor and C4 did with the C4 Smart Energy. But in true Ghost style, they've put quite a few ingredients in the beverage to deliver a solid mix of energy and focus. As I mentioned, they confirmed the formula. So each can of this upcoming drink, the first Ghost drink, will have a gram each of taurine and acetyl-L-carnitine, 100 milligrams of Neurofactor, which is a premium branded focus enhancing ingredient. There's also going to be alpha GPC in the mix, and of course natural caffeine at 200 milligrams, which I cannot stress enough is my preferred amount. I enjoy drinking energy drinks much as the next guy, but I'm not a fan of sitting down and trying to knock out some work or gaming or study and drinking 300 milligrams of caffeine. It just makes me uncomfortable. I prefer that 300 plus in my pre-workout. So they've delivered, I guess, on the natural caffeine side for me. Just the caffeine side for me. I'm excited, obviously, to see how this one tastes. That's going to be the biggest point of difference. Several companies have just surfaced over the past few years and really set the bar and shown that, you just can't put out a bad tasting energy drink. Rain is a great new one. Who obviously Ray's, C4, America and 3D, probably the leaders for me, just in terms of taste, flavor. Nobody comes close to just how good they deliver on each of their flavors. It's tough to compare. So I'm interested to see how they go, how they stack up. I know Ghost is going to be doing collabs, so it's very similar to how they've done with their pre-workout and their proteins. They are going to be teaming up with some outside fitness industry companies. I don't think they confirmed yet, but there will probably be things along the same lines as like a Warheads flavor and like even a Sour Batch. I'm not entirely certain. They haven't fully shared details on it, but all of that's coming this summer, so at least we know what's in the drink. I'm excited to try it. I'm always a big fan of companies getting into the space, and Ghost is probably one of the most balanced, well-known supplement companies to do that. Even though Cellucor was is a giant when it got back and when it got into the beverage market. It was a year or two, can't quite remember, not that long ago. But again, they've always been a very pre-workout dominant brand, whereas Ghost has got protein, it's got pre-workout, it's got weight loss. It covers most categories with solid competitors. So I'd be excited to see how this one goes for them and how well they expand following the launch. To move on from there, we are going to talk about one of the more interesting companies that I guess has come out of Europe these past few weeks and months, and that is I'm pronouncing it Vayu. It's a German company. You will have seen it on the site if you follow. It's very attractive, very eye-catching brand identity. They've gone with like a full-on black label with their name in big around the tubs, also in black, and then the only thing that really pops is this giant V, which is of course the first letter in their name, and it's just the packaging is just so damn good. The way that they've done it, and I mean it might be the renders, but the way that they've packaged it, just the simplicity, because most companies throw on flavor callouts and flavor graphics and highlights and benefits. These guys just put a black tub, wrapped their name around it in a slightly lighter black or dark grey, put a giant V on it, and then at the bottom in small is the name of the product, and even the names of the products are very simple and straightforward. But the reason we've got these guys back in the news this past week is that Vayu has announced they're coming out with an all-new product, which is very impressive considering they only just launched a couple months ago. They hit the market originally with 4 products. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to remember all 4, but they had a protein powder, an amino, a pre-workout, and a simple energy formula. And so obviously they weren't covering every category, and they did so. They covered the categories they did in a rather unique way. I mean, the energy formula isn't exactly a pre-workout. It's just a little boost product, and then they actually have a pre-workout, but that pre-workout is a stimulant-free pump and formula. So it's quite a unique brand. But the one that they announced this past week is an intra-workout. Keeping with that simplistic theme, it is simply named intra. We don't entirely know the dosages and all of the ingredients that are in it, but they I saw something interesting in their captions. So they mentioned that there wasn't a budget when it came to formulation of this, which I thought was really interesting, because I'm sitting there going, so they pretty much saying they spared no expense. So which has me thinking this thing is either going to be like, not as exciting as they make it sound, or it's going to be just packed to the rim, right? If they're saying spared no expense, you got to imagine the thing's going to be loaded. And they have said that they have named some of the highlight ingredients. They've confirmed that there are going to be 5 branded features in the product: clostridextrin, the HBCD, Pepto Pro, Glutapep, Pep, KSM 66 ashwagandha, and Biopren black pepper for absorption. So they've named those as the main ingredients. We don't know what the dosages are. We don't know if there's anything else in there. But based on that, they've definitely taken that premium, heavy quality route when it comes to the formula. As they said, they spared no expense. But I guess we are going to be waiting to see what dosages they are and just how loaded the product is. And I thought it was worth noting that they did say that. They said that they spared no expense. There was no budget for the formulation. And while typically companies can say that, and you might think they're talking shit or they're full of lies, I actually sincerely believe Vayu, because they, if you can remember when we introduced the brand, they announced, or when they launched, they made their amino is the amino mTOR, I believe is the name of it. They launched, that is one of the most loaded aminos I've come across. It packs, I think it's 19.9 grams, 19.9 grams of all 9 EAAs, and a handful of electrolytes in there to help with hydration. So, and that's 19.9 grams of EAAs in each serving, and each tub has 33 servings. So that's not only more aminos than you probably get in your average EAA supplement, but it's twice that what you get, and you get more than the usual 37, you get 33. So I'm very inclined to believe that when they say that they've got an intra-workout that with spared no expense and it's going to be loaded, I'm very interested to see because they had their protein powder, which wasn't as premium, and their pre-workout, which was pretty solid. Same with their energy product, was a little bit was basic, but they really showed they weren't going to spare any expense and just pack the crap out of it when it came to their aminos. So I'm suspecting that when they reveal this intra-workout formula, it is indeed going to be another loaded product very similar to their Amino mTOR. Next up, we'll wind down the episode now with we'll go with two to three stories to finish off. And the first one is going to come from Ultimate Nutrition. Now, this was a pretty big damn story. And though you're not, we haven't gone back in time, this is exactly what's happened. So Ultimate Nutrition last year, remember they posted this sign on their door saying that employees had been terminated. And I think we got it on our site, and we talk about what the sign said, and basically employees at that office, at that building, had been terminated. And it led us, and Ultimate Nutrition also closed their social media accounts. And so, not even, guessing, we felt that was Ultimate Nutrition gone, right? When you post something like that, close your social media, why would you think otherwise? And so it turns out they really just closed and terminated the employees, closed the building. They didn't close down Ultimate Nutrition in full. The brand has actually been operating over these past few months, dealing with select partners and individuals and stores, and still producing products and selling. And this past week, it kind of just resurfaced that the company is indeed in full operation, still producing products, still producing the same selection of supplements it was before that sign service. Nothing really changed bar that incident. And Ultimate Nutrition is now partnered with Sportica, which is a global distributor, to basically distribute the brand around the world. It's kind of an odd story. Again, after we heard everything that happened, we kind of didn't expect to hear anything more. But no, Ultimate Nutrition is still kicking. Same lineup, same products, same formulas, same everything. Just, yeah. So, it was an interesting story. You can check it out and read all about it. But, again, I believe I'm not sure if the online store is still open. Remember, I checked it out. But, yeah, again, so if you see them in stores, it's not because they're holding on to stock. It's still because the company is in full operation. And now it's teamed up with Sportica to carry it around the world, including the US as well. So Sportica will be covering distribution in the US for that company. The next two stories we've got, I guess not too supplement brand related. One of them is ours, and the other one is just an interesting thing that we picked up on. So we'll start with the latter, and that is over the weekend we posted about a new program coming called the Supplement Course. Now, what it is I thought it was very interesting when the team reached out to us. So, it's basically I think it's an 11 lesson course that basically covers as many areas as possible in the supplement industry. And the goal of the course is to educate, inform, and just take your knowledge on supplements that much further. The 11 lessons cover 16 different topics, all the way from the legal side of things, manufacturing, deep dives into categories. They pretty much attempt to cover it all. And the course features it's from Bullfrog Nutrition, the supplement retailer out in Ohio. They've come together with several notable names in the industry to basically put together this comprehensive course. As mentioned, it's called the Supplement Course. It features Mark Lobliner of, from MTS, Tiger Fitness, Outright, you name it. John Meadows, which is, hands down one of the smartest guys I've ever spoken to. Not just in the industry, but in my life. Jeff Golini from EFX. He's on there as well. So they've brought together just a bunch of knowledgeable and professionals. And it's built to educate. And the first program they're doing, the one with the 11 lessons, is the Pro program. And now the reason they've named it that is because they are planning to develop other courses down the road. One that'll be both before that, so like a beginner course, and then one that'll be after that, like an advanced course, to, I guess, one to just, further your knowledge depending on the level. It's an interesting little project. I thought it was well worth checking out, especially if you wanted to know more about all of that stuff. I guess make you a better consumer if you don't know, or you felt like you were a little unaware. This is what this course is meant to do, just help you make, I guess, better decisions, let you know more about the supplements that go into your body, and inform and educate. There is a cost, obviously. It's launching on the 6th of July and it'll be available at $127, but if you sign up on their site, they did tell me a percentage. I'm pretty sure they said just go to the site, sign up. They will give you a discount. When it goes live, you'll get a coupon code or something. I thought whatever they said, I don't remember the percentage, but they said it would bring it down to around $100. I'm not sure if that's just under or just over, but it's around 100. But you can check it out on our site. Just type in supplement course, it'll pop up. But the last story we have is, of course, in regards to our expo, which is just really picking up steam. We mentioned it several times here on the podcast. For those that didn't know, the Stacked Pro is our online expo. It's basically our little creation that brings together everything from a typical expo to any device anywhere in the world, anytime. It's a website that basically is live for 7 days, and each company gets its own little page to fill with whatever they want: giveaways, deals, launches, announcements, unveilings, pretty much anything really. Information, education, and these past 3 weeks we have been rattling off all of the brands who are going to be at our expo. We did this, if you recall, longtime fans will recall, we did the expo back in 2016 and 2017, twice in each year, but we got a little tied up in 18-19, so we put it on hold. But we thought now would be an awesome time to bring it back, and we brought it back with just awesome excitement. And again, we confirmed basically 7 brands that are going to be at the expo exhibiting and again doing giveaways, deals, launches. We've confirmed 7 each week for the past 3 weeks, and so I'm not sure if we mentioned them, but I'll rattle the ones off confirmed so far. But just to give you a bit of an insight, because on the website we mentioned we have more in store, but this is literally only half of the ones that are confirmed for the expo. It's pretty cool that we're going to have more than we ever have before. We've tried our best to incorporate as many brands as possible and just make it an exciting week. But the companies we have that'll be exhibiting include A&S Performance, Beyond Yourself, also from Canada, Glaxon, BPI Sports, Redcon 1, EVL, Raise, the delicious energy drink, Obvi, Evolve Nutrition, who was our International Brand of the Year winner from last year, Dymatize, Miracle Labs, Apollo Nutrition, Core Nutritionals, Serious Nutrition Solutions, CMP, Modern Sports Nutrition, the company who brought Modern BCA back to the industry, Barbells, maker of our #1 protein bar, Inspired, NutriBio, Muscletech, and Cellucor with C4. So these companies are all going to be having their own page filled with deals, giveaways, announcements, pretty much everything you would get at a regular expo that can be translated to an online experience. These guys are bringing it. And again, that's only half the companies we have. We have, I think it might be even less than half. So we got a lot more in store. Definitely stay logged into the site. We'll be announcing them all the way up to the big day, which is August 10th. So the website will be going live August 10th at exactly 12:01 in the morning, and it'll be closing at midnight on the 16th. So thank you for tuning into this episode. We'll make sure we get the interview is back up and running later this week. But again, thank you for tuning in, and look forward to having you on the next episode.